So I was sitting doing some paperwork at home and I realized, why don't I just go do my paperwork at the local cafe? And that's what I'm gonna do. Grab myself a little coffee. I love when it has a little hint of chocolate to it. Reminds me of our tavern morning candle a little bit. And then I'll grab myself maybe a bagel because it's still breakfast time and enjoy a quiet solo moment, my little touch of fine living on this October 1st. I'm walking a dirt road that I've never walked on before. And the map looked like there's some homes to look at, so I'm gonna give it a go. I'm using all of these hills to take nice big strides and work the backside. It's too beautiful to go to a gym or sit inside. Ooh, this hill's been going. Might be hard to tell, but that was a nice, constant, steep climb. I have no idea what's ahead of me. I noticed it from over there. Well, I was standing there and I could see it went all the way down here. This property owner has used trees and all kinds of fallen debris to make themselves a wall. Actually, it looks like it's on top of an old stone wall that I'm looking. There's an old stone wall there, but it's all built up. I guess that's a way of using a lot of things that have fallen. Pretty cool. I wish I could share the smell of the fallen leaves here drying, and it's a nice cool day. It is glorious. I thought I was coming to a little river or stream. It's just the sound of the winds in the trees. Right down the street from my house. And this is the first time I've seen this at this angle because I came out of a street I've never been on before. this is the reason I used the quartz that looks like soapstone in our kitchen. It is a gorgeous morning, cool and crisp, and October 1st. Fall is in the air. It is gorgeous. And I'm getting ready right now to go into the barn and start doing some measuring. I have my book and I have my electronic measurer, and I need to see where lighting is going to go. And I'm going to start working on that right now. But oh my gosh, this is quintessential early fall morning, October 1st. I had many of you ask what the barn is going to be used for. And this is kind of our thoughts. Things could change. But on the first floor here, during the winter, the green 49 will be here in storage so that Ben can then park his vehicle in the garage. And then will also be some of the other lawn equipment and some seasonal storage. And then upstairs, and the stairs will be over here, kind of a dog leg. They're gonna run up the side. My hands are full right now. I've actually have things. I'm gonna head upstairs on this ladder soon and do some measuring. And also I'm gonna be doing some measuring down here for lighting and chandeliers. But the stairway's not here yet, and I'm gonna be trying to figure out some storage for under the stairs, where lighting is gonna go, and things like that. But upstairs is going to be Ben's office, at least 3 seasons. We are putting in a propane-fired stove, and that will be upstairs. And he'll have a seating area and his desk and whatnot. And if it stays warm enough, he can use it year-round. And if not, he'll be back in the house on colder days. But downstairs, mainly storage for vehicles and lawn equipment, seasonal decor, and then of course, we're setting it up so that when we have the French doors here, and if there's nothing inside, we can set up a long table for family gatherings. I might do workshops. It's limitless what we're gonna be doing. So yeah, so I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna start some measuring and see if some of these lights will fit. I'm gonna show you something a little bit later of our thoughts, but right now I'm gonna put the camera down and get to work because the electricians will be waiting on me to tell them where things will be going. One measurement I have to make sure of is over the truck. I wanna make sure that whatever chandelier I put in here isn't too low. Now I know some might think a chandelier is too much in a barn like this, but down the road, as I mentioned, sometimes we will use this for family gatherings or workshops, and I plan on a very large table here. Down the road, I might even bring in our kitchen farm table. There's plenty of space in each bay, and it could go off to the side if Ben and I choose to get a smaller table for our kitchen at one point. So I need to now get to the top of the truck and measure from the top of the truck to the bottom of the beam just to see what size lighting I can do or to stay under. And once again, I'll show you some lights that I have ideas for in a moment, but that's what I gotta do right now. Another thing I wanted to make sure of, and I can now see there is plenty of space. I wanted to make sure that whatever lighting fixtures I have on the beams, I'm thinking of doing something on the inside or outside here for some lights on the post. I don't want it to stick out too far, and I'll also have them up higher. So I don't know if I'm gonna do some sort of carriage light style, and I'll tell you why I'm gonna maybe go on that theme as well. I don't mind going up ladders, but I do mind going down them. So the way the stairs run is gonna go, it's gonna come up this way, then there'll be a landing, and then it will come up this way, and then there'll be a railing all the way around. Now what I'm up here for today is to try to figure out where I'm going to put the wood burning stove, which is actually a gas burning stove, but it's gonna look like wood burning. And I'm thinking possibly in the corner here so that the fan shoots the heat out this way. But once again, I haven't measured yet, so we will see and figure this out. Now, Ben's envisioning possibly a television on this wall, and he could even project his work to it if needed. At one point, he was thinking desk over here, but one of my thoughts is if he had his desk floating here in the middle, under the cupola, and then it could be in back of a sofa, and then a coffee table, be looking out the window here. We were talking about a couple chairs in this corner, because if we sit over here, this is the view I showed you the other day. Pretty soon, that is going to be all colors. Leaves are coming down. So that's our thoughts. We're thinking a couple of chairs right here. We'll be able to sit and enjoy this view, but the options are limitless. There's also discussion. He would like to put a sauna, just a small interior sauna. So this is probably the area it would go. And then I'll also do a little kitchen nook for him, which will be just a refrigerator and a Keurig coffee maker or something like that. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just gonna measure out the space for the wall height and just start some ideas, and then also the chandelier. It will be hung from this beam here, and I want it to fall in line with this window. Now, I mentioned that over this large bay there'll be 1, 2, 3 windows. We're gonna have an arch window over it, and it's really, it just goes up and then has a slight arch. So that would be in the front, and I wanna make sure the chandelier kind of falls in line with that. So it will be hung once the window is up. Looks like all the hornets have cleared out. And then I just have to figure out where I want some other lights and outlets. We might do some floor outlets as well if I have things floating. We want to have some lighting on either side of the sofa and whatnot. We need some dedicated outlets for the gas stove and the sauna. It's cold up here right now. Whew, my fingers are chilly. This is one of the lighting fixtures I'm thinking of for inside the barn. I actually saw this in another post and beam business, and I thought of the carriage wheels we found in the woods right away. So I'm thinking of doing a little play off of a carriage or a carriage house. Even though it's a barn, we have things all around the property that showcase our old carriage that was here. And I think this concept will be a lot of fun. So I do have several different sizes here that are available to look at. I have to keep the drop in mind because this part I can't change, but I'm guessing there's some chain that I can have dropped or let shortened or lengthened, but different sizes. And I might do 2 smaller ones, 1 large one upstairs. I don't know yet, but this is what I'm playing with right now. I am getting ready to start making pear butter. Now, my daughter mentioned I should do this, and quite a few of you also mentioned great idea, and we got some other great recipe ideas. I'm gonna start with the pear butter today. I did find a recipe that I'll be using a slow cooker to start the pears, and then I'm going to prep the ingredients that go in it. Then I will be doing a water bath if I get a large enough batch. We're gonna have to see how these pears are. Now, one thing that surprised me is this recipe that I'm following mentions that you should use pears that are not very ripe. It said that they will actually become more gritty and grainy if you use a pear that's ripe, which I figured it would be the opposite. So luckily, these do have quite a bit of firmness to them still. My concern, oopsie, I'll get that after. My concern is that the skin on these is so thick. I took a bite into one. They taste delicious, but the skin is very thick. So peeling these are going to be a little time consuming. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna peel these, I'm gonna put them in the slow cooker, and then I'm gonna prep some apple juice. I could go buy apple juice, but the reason I bought the juicer was to create nice fresh juices for recipes. So I'm hoping I have enough apples to get myself, I think it said 2 cups of juice. We'll see. I'm not sure. I might not have enough, and then I'll have to go buy more apples. So I'm gonna start prepping this, get it going, and enjoy a day, because they are grading our road today. Even though I could get out, I don't know if you can see the pile of dirt, it gets quite high, and I'm just gonna be a homebody today and enjoy making some meals and apple butter. Now I'm getting ready to add the dry ingredients. I measured out 3 cups of brown sugar, a cup of white sugar, and I also need, let's see, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract. And I put that away in my pantry. All right, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And of course, I'm using our Sugarwood 1790 vanilla, but the vanilla I made 2 years ago that I'm gonna get the beans out of is not from Kentucky like this one. It's from Sugarwood. Well, I made it here at Sugarwood. All right, so we have, what I say, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm gonna pour that right in here. Actually, I'm gonna pour it right in my apple juice mixture, apple juice and lime. 1, 2, and I'll probably just stir everything together. So I'm going to bring this over here, make it easier for me. Oh, that smells so good. And then, let's see here. 1 teaspoon of cardamom. Such a fluffy, light spice here. Let me just see if I can do this over here. I'm not pressing it down, I'm just trying to equal it out. All right, so we have 1 teaspoon of cardamom. Has such a unique scent to it. I love it. 1 teaspoon ground ginger. 2 teaspoons cinnamon. I might have to refill this. I've been using cinnamon in my coffee every morning, so it's a little low, but I should have 2 teaspoons enough in here. Wow, that cardamom smells really nice. I was even going to add a little nutmeg. I don't know. What do you think? Let's see here. 1/2 teaspoon ground cloves. How about just a dash? A dash of nutmeg. And I'm going to write that down, so if I don't like it, I will know I did that. If I do like it, I will know I did it. Dash of nutmeg. And then I'm going to pour this over. I'm going to get, well, actually, let me get the vanilla bean first, and I'm going to put that into my mixture. I might even pour this in here so I can start to soften my sugar, so because it's not going to fit in this container the way it is right now. So here it is. Do you remember I made this a couple years ago? And I've been going in, I shake it, and now I'm going to use some of the vanilla beans paste for this recipe, which it doesn't call for that. It's interesting that I made this a couple months before we started talking about Sugarwood 1790 vanilla with the distillery that we've partnered with. So it's two separate things, but I love having the homemade vanilla in both cases. So I'm going to get one of the vanilla beans out and see how much paste I have. Now I know a lot of people make their own vanilla, and I've seen some that split the vanilla bean when they're putting it in. I do not do that. One, a lot of times the beans are being split if you're trying to speed up the process, if you're giving it as gifts. When you're letting it sit for a good long time like this, you do not need to split it. It will actually soak into the bean and release, and then now I have it to save. If I did cut it, it wouldn't have been here available for me to grab for the paste. All right, fishing for a bean. So I'm just going to cut open the bean here. I'm going to use the back of my knife, and I'm just going to scrape along the inside here. Don't need to do this. This is just something extra I want to do using something that I have. I'm going to try to put in about a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla paste. I did just order some. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. I did just order some vanilla paste online this morning, and I got notice it should be here this afternoon. And then I ordered more of the Madagascar organic vanilla beans. Once again, if I had split my beans to use in the vanilla mixture at first, I wouldn't have this wonderful paste to use after. It's great to do if you're trying to rush through a batch to get them out for Christmas presents, but I chose to save them for things like this. This smells like autumn. Well, that didn't work. Well, there you have it. And what I really enjoy about this is that I was able to create it completely homemade. I made my own apple juice, and I used the brown sugar that I made with white sugar and molasses. The recipe's on my website. And then just pure cane sugar, vanilla, and then our spices and pears from Sugarwood's property. And in about 8 to 10 hours, I will be ready to can these. So I thought. I didn't read on. I thought I was just going to puree the pears and then put them in the sterilized jar, put them in the water bath, and then after 10 minutes, I'd take them out, let them sit overnight. No. I had to then let it cook down. It said 1 to 2 hours. For some reason, it took 4 hours to cook down. I found this a very long process, and for something that I found a little too sweet for my liking, it was a very long day of making pear butter that I think I might try another recipe another time. I will link it below because some of you might like very sweet pear butter. For me, it was just a little too sweet. I'm not sure if 3 cups brown sugar, 1 cup white sugar is the norm. I didn't look at other recipes, but comment below. What are your thoughts? While I was in the kitchen during the day, I also put together a pot of my roasted potato and leek soup. It came out so good. I've already shown this on my channel, but I will put a link below to my website that shows the recipe and the video. Willow was barking at me and grabbing my hand while I was pulling weeds. I really thought something was wrong. Show me. Show me. What is it? What is it? Oh, it's just a Frederick. It's just a Frederick. What? She just wanted to play. And here I was thinking something happened like Timmy fell in the well. And for those who don't know, that's from Lassie. And just to let some of you know, some of the Halloween box items are now available to purchase solo. At this time, we have about 20 Halloween boxes left. Bye now.